Welcome to the Harworth Brass podcast. With your host, Pete.
Hello and welcome back to the Harworth Brass podcast. I'm your host Pete, and today we have a very special guest, someone who anchors us musically with the mighty E-flat bass and anchors us practically by towing the band trailer to concerts and everything in between. This is going to be a fun one, so settle in, enjoy episode 4, Driving the Bassline, life as an E-flat bass player and band trailer hero. So let's dive in. So let's start from the beginning, Tim. How did you first get involved in brass banding?
Brass banding when I was 22 actually, but I started at primary school in about year 5, and they came in and give you a trumpet, and it was fully funded in them days, which is something that should happen again. But yeah, it was just something that got me out of maths. 10 minutes a week in lessons in school. Carried it through till I was about 16. I played in a marching band, which was a scout band.
Right.
Up until I was 16. Like you see on the baseball games and
Yeah.
stuff, where they're all marching in formation and stuff. It was all that. And then I packed in because I was working away from home or all over the country. And then 2009, I bought my first house in Harworth, and I was sat there all alone, lonely, on an evening, and thought, what shall I do? So I got the trumpet out, and then I started looking for a band and realised there was one in the village, which was Harworth.
Yeah.
So I messaged via the website. It says, can I come and play? They said, yeah. What do you play? I says, well, trumpet. She says, oh, we've got no cornet vacancies. So I said, well, what else you got? And I ended up playing B-flat bass.
It's a big jump into it to go from a trumpet with a very small mouthpiece to the biggest mouthpiece in the band.
I mean, I've done it before, because when I had braces fitted, I'd gone onto a euphonium.
Yeah.
Just so it didn't destroy your lips. But yeah, no, it was one of them. Anyway, so I made a message, and I had this vision that I was going to be walking in, and there'd be a load of old fuddy-duddies playing brass instruments. And I walked in and was met by Claire. And I was like, oof, she's fit. But yeah, then
Should I tell everybody that's my sister?
So yeah, I thought, well, that's worth going on a Thursday night, isn't it?
All right, so obviously you went on to B-flat bass. Obviously, when you first joined the band, what drew you to the E-flat bass? Then was it your choice, or were you volunteered?
Nobody likes playing B-flat bass. Nobody does. They're a different animal, and I've been very lucky. Played in all sorts of bands at higher levels on B-flat. Until I was at Silkstone and did a few years at Silkstone, and one of the guys says, do you fancy having a go at E-flat? And I said, yeah. And it's so much of a nicer tuba because
I've always thought to myself, between the two basses, that the E-flat bass has a kind of like your phone, it has that nicer tone.
You can make it sound beautiful, can't you?
Yeah, it can, yes.
Whereas the B-flat bass, conductor, what's his name? It was at Drumfield. What's his name? I think he conducted Harworth before many years ago. It was Davis.
John
Davis.
John Davis.
He said to me, he said, B-flat basses should be felt, not heard.
Yeah.
So he made me play everything on the pedals, which was entertaining.
Sounds like fun. What do you remember about the early days then of learning the E-flat bass compared to obviously everything else? Did it come quite easy to you compared to the B-flat?
Yeah, it come quite easy really. Obviously, as Darren has previously said, going from a B-flat instrument to an E-flat instrument takes a bit of time, just because your notes are different. But I've spent a lot of time swapping between the two. Like if I go in depth for another band and they need a B-flat for Whit Friday, I'll jump back on B-flat for the day, and then the next rehearsal I'm back onto E-flat. So I'm sort of, as a lot of bass players are, we can swap between the two flavours.
Ah, good. So obviously playing the E-flat bass, for people who may not understand, because we've obviously got listeners who are probably brass banders and others who are supporters, what role does the E-flat bass play in the band?
The B-flat bass.
No, the E-flat bass.
The E-flat bass. The E-flat bass is the top dog of the tuba world. So it's, I think with the E-flat bass definitely gets more tune, more solos, more chance to stand out and be big-headed about it. But I think, like I say, I think the B-flat bass they've got a different job to do, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
It's whereas the E-flats
Stand out a little bit more.
yeah. I suppose it's a bit like playing the sop.
So, how does it feel being the foundation of the band and holding down those low notes that everyone else sits on top of?
That's it. The thing is, when you've been on a tuba that long, or any bass part, whether even if you were in a bass guitar, you if there's no percussion, everyone relies on the basses.
True.
And there's a lot of bass players who are usually behind the beat or in front of the beat. It's just a habit. We're not very good at playing on the beat. But no, I think, and don't ask us to play off the beat because you just get laughed at. But no, if you imagine you're building a house and you're putting your concrete foundations in,
Yeah.
and then everything else goes on top, that's the bass's job, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But it helps when you've got a good drummer behind you to keep you on the place. When she's watching, Jan.
What's the most enjoyable part of playing such a powerful, resonant instrument then?
Most enjoyable part? It's at the back of the band. We can prat about, can't we? And nobody sees us. You can sneakily look at your phone in rehearsals and nobody can catch you.
I'm not saying anything on that one, being the band sergeant. So, on the flip side then, so that's your most enjoyable. What's the biggest challenge of being on E-flat bass?
Carrying the bloody thing.
They're not light, are they?
No.
Just out of curiosity, you'll probably know this and stuff, but these days, obviously, I know back in the day when Harworth Brass got a lot of it back in the 90s, how much a bass cost back then. Roughly, how much would an E-flat bass cost now? A decent one, obviously.
An E-flat bass now, if you went for a Besson, I think you're brand new, you're probably looking, well, 6, 7, maybe 8 grand. B-flat bass, you're probably looking at 10 grand plus.
Expensive, aren't they?
They're expensive, and unfortunately, they're just, because of the size, they do get damaged easy as well. So the instrument repairs are massive. I mean, look at the mouthpiece. The mouthpieces are well over £100 just for that. So
just for one, yeah.
Just so whereas a cornet one is pea shooter, isn't it?
Yeah, but even they're quite expensive. Even the cornet ones, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, you spend as much as you want to spend, don't you? Whatever your budget
and
is.
Obviously, it depends on the quality of what you want.
But most bands as bass sections, I mean, there's not many bands now who can afford a brand new bass. So we're all recycling, aren't we? A lot of these, second-hand one, you're still talking 3 or 4 grand.
Yeah, I think the only time that you can really probably get a brand new one these days is if you're successful with something like a grant or a lottery grant or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd say the only time you're probably going to get a brand new one these days.
Yeah, or you buy them, off the military bands who are funded.
Are there any pieces where you think the bass section truly gets to shine?
The best Christmas piece ever written is Santa Claustrophobia.
I thought you might actually say that. I mean, we've recently just, this episode comes out on New Year's Day, but we've recently just finished pretty much most of our carol jobs, and we recently had our last concert, and I think there was only you and Craig who stood up.
Yeah, well, Jeff, bless him, he struggles with his ability, doesn't he?
No, he does, but it was a good bass sound that night, wasn't it? With all 4 of you there.
We're very lucky. I mean, that's the problem with the section at the minute. I mean, I jokingly call myself the principal or solo tuba player. But I think, I want some more friends. So if you can play a tuba, please come and sit next to me.
Well, I'm going to say, we might have another new player coming soon. We were playing in Morrison's the other week for carols, and young lad, owner lives over at Markham, and currently he plays euphonium. So could be potential player there who comes in, either plays your phone him or might be able to turn a clue on E flat bass, because
I think that
it's
with
a
any
good challenge.
band, tuba players are very rare. Which is one of the reasons why I like being on it, because it means I can go and play for any band I want.
But yeah,
Because there's always a vacancy, sadly. But we'll see. We could do it. We've got 2 vacancies, so if anybody wants to have a go on tuba, I'll quite happily. If you've
You're
not played
welcome,
before,
though.
I'll teach you.
Yeah. So if you had to describe the perfect bass section sound, what would it be?
The like imagine sitting in church.
Yeah.
And the pedals that the organist is using on the thing, where it's really low notes and it makes the pews vibrate. That's what a proper tuba section should sound like.
Here's a good one for you. Do you have any warm-up routines before rehearsals or
I knew
concerts?
you were going to ask this one. My warm-up routine.
To be fair, I probably ask everybody who's on the podcast that.
Well, when you asked me to do this, I said I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
So I walk into a concert or a rehearsal. Yeah, I put my tuba on the floor and I sit with my hands in my pockets, having a good chinwag, and I don't actually play any notes until Claire lifts up the stick.
Like you say, everybody has their own. Are there any techniques or exercises you think every bass player should practice?
Yeah, definitely. Pedal notes.
You've had some lovely low notes on that instrument sometimes before, and I do look at you, think to myself, how's he managed to actually hit that note? That's quite low.
Yeah, well, I think that comes from the B flat bass days. You can get a pedal on one of them, you can get a pedal on E flat, no problem.
No, that's true.
But yeah, pedals, and the thing is with a tuba, they always say warm up. There's that much metal in it, it's never going to warm up. So you've just, I've never.
You know your instrument.
Yeah, it's not like, obviously with brass instruments, when the metal gets warm, the tuning changes.
Yeah.
But the thing is with a tuba, you're never going to be able to warm it all up.
No, like you say, there's a lot of metal there. How do you approach long, sustained passages that basses are often famous for? So let's take the Santa Claustrophobia thing, for instance. It's quite fast piece, that bit, for you guys. So how do you approach something like that? Because obviously you've got to put a lot of air into a bass for starters anyway. How do you approach the long, sustained passages and keep breathing?
That's where teamwork comes in, really. You just don't breathe at the same time, so it sounds. It's all about fudging it. It's all about.
Love that word.
Fudging it, isn't it? It's
like a bodge job.
Yeah, if you've got 4 tubas and they're all working together. So my rule, I was always taught that one of you breathes on the bar, one of you breathes in the bar. You'll never breathe together then.
No, that's true.
So that's
work as a team.
Yeah. But we don't have a team at the minute, so we could do with one.
Yeah, we are creeping in this podcast to advertise for some more bass players, please. What's your personal favourite style of music to play then, mate, on bass? Marches, big symphonic sounds, jazzy lines, film music?
I like a good march.
Can't beat a good march.
I like things that cheese. I like cheese because cheese usually means bass part's good. It's all right playing all these nice, lovely sounding, soft, quiet music, but your bass section's falling asleep.
Yeah, so keep them entertained. So we've just come through the Christmas period, as we already mentioned. How much did you enjoy the concerts or the carols playing and stuff this year?
Well, I've not done that many because I work long hours, so work nights, no chance. But I don't know really. I've not done that. The concerts have been fab as always.
Last one was good though, weren't it? That we did at the town hall.
Yeah.
The kids got to see Santa.
The Langold one's always a good one.
Oh, Langold one's always good.
Although Leslie, can we have Pie and Peas back next year, please?
Hope you're listening, Leslie. Do you find Christmas gigs bring a special type of atmosphere to the band?
Yeah, but I think everyone does get tired and fed up.
Yeah, I think you can. It can be a long haul, December.
Yeah, I feel like by the time you get to Christmas Eve, you've had enough. But I think, no, the thing is, as you get older, Pete, they're coming around quick, aren't they, in all Christmases?
They do come around rather quick these days.
Like, my favourite jobs are the summer ones. I like it when you're
outside.
like Normanby or something like that, when your family can come with you and they can sit and have a picnic while you're playing to a full audience. They're my favourite jobs, 100%.
No, to be fair, I do really like the summer ones, outside ones. Like you say, Normanby Hall actually there next year. So,
yeah.
Is there any humorous, awkward, or unforgettable Christmas moments that you can think of this year?
Yeah, Leslie coming out with chuffing balloon boobs. And
was that the 9 to 5 one where she was Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she were dancing around the room and she were getting closer and closer to Darren. And I thought, this isn't going to end well. I did mention it to Darren, but I won't say it on air what he actually said. But it was hilarious.
So obviously this is a kind of like the last section of the Christmas side, but you've already my question was going to be, what's your favourite festive tune to play? Which I think you've already said is Santa Claustrophobia. But which one are you secretly glad is finished until next year?
It's got to be what's that? I don't think we played it. Ow.
Which one?
Is it the one that Cliff Richard sang?
Was what?
Something at the drum.
Little Drummer Boy. No.
Yeah, Little Drummer Boy.
Little Drummer Boy. We didn't play that this year, did we?
No, and I'm glad.
So there's one that you're glad that never played this year, and probably hopefully you'll probably think to yourself, let's not play it next year then.
Yeah.
Okay. What keeps you coming back week after week?
Habit. It's habit, isn't it? It's like going to the gym. Once you keep going to the gym, you're all right. But if you stop and have a break, COVID is a prime example.
Oh God, yeah.
How many players has the brass band movement lost since COVID?
How many brass bands have been lost since COVID as well? I've had quite a few since COVID, actually.
The thing is, we all got, myself included, because pre-COVID I was at Chapeltown, and it just, when you had 2 years of just not in the habit of going to band, and because I'll be honest, when I would sometimes walk through the door at 7:15 at night, I then have to have a quick shower, have my tea, do my business admin,
yeah,
and then try and get to band for 7:15 when I've got a 25-mile drive to get to band.
Yeah.
So that's, sorry Claire, but that's the reason why I'm sometimes late. But last thing I want to do on a Thursday night is get in the van and drive to band. It's the last thing on my mind. But I do it because I know when I get there, it's a time for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Away from the family, away from work, away from...
And enjoy the music.
Yeah, your music and your mates.
Have you got any standout memory from your time in Harworth Brass?
Yes. What about the Christmas one? We did the Old Bell to Christmas 2010. It was knee-deep snow.
2010, now we're going back. Go on.
Yeah, knee-deep snow. Towed the trailer all the way to the Old Bell. We had to dig it out. Then when we were in the concert, I kept saying to John Blundell and Steve at the time, I said, I really don't feel well. And then we went out to load the trailer, the lock had froze up, so we had to go and borrow a blowtorch out the kitchen for the creme brulees. Every concert we were challenged that year because of how iced up everything was. But the day after that concert, I ended up in hospital and missed every Carol job that year. Remember?
I'm trying to remember. What did you end up in hospital for?
I had appendicitis. But 4 weeks in hospital and got out just before Christmas.
At least you're out before Christmas.
Yeah. No, it was good because I can remember being in hospital and I weren't bothered about myself. It was how was the instruments going to get to the band jobs?
Yeah, because you're the
was-
guy that pulls them.
I was incapacitated, but never mind.
Never mind. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of band advice, what would it be?
Practice.
I think that's probably what all of us would say to our younger self. Practice a bit more.
Might actually help if you take your tuba home.
Yeah, well, leave it in banjo. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. If you weren't on E flat bass, what other section would you love to try?
I tried euphonium, didn't I?
You did, yes, I do remember that. A while back, that.
That was when Jane McDonald took me in a cupboard.
Yes, when we did the ITV programme. What was it called again?
Star Treatment.
Star Treatment, yeah.
I will dig that DVD out.
Thank you. Yes, we'll get that out for everybody at some point.
Yeah, no. I have secretly been learning trombone. I think trombone's a good instrument, isn't it? Because it fits into any.
It does. I mean, you can play in concert bands, you can play in orchestras, brass bands, jazz bands, big bands. The list is keeps going.
It's a very versatile instrument. But I like it on bass.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's a man's instrument.
It is. Right, so before we finish part one, we're going to do a fun quick fire round for you. So literally 10 questions. Okay. Favourite rehearsal snack?
Can't eat when you're playing a brass instrument.
There you go. Glenn Miller or John Williams?
Glenn Miller.
Silver or lacquer?
Silver.
Strongest section in the band, other than basses?
Euphoniums.
Which instrument would you never want to sit next to?
Sop.
Loudest person in the band hall?
You.
What, me or me on trombone?
Your trombone.
Yeah, okay. Who cracks the best jokes in the band?
Darren.
Best concert day breakfast?
Full English in Wetherspoons.
Oh, nice. If we had a band mascot, what should it be? Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Mascot? What? We need a goat.
Okay, well, I'll have a goat then.
Yeah.
That's band mascot. I think I know the answer to the next one. Whit Friday or a weekend away?
Whit Friday. And make it a weekend away.
I'd make it a weekend. So, yeah, make them both. Fantastic. So, brilliant answers. We're now going to take a short breather before we jump into part two. All about life behind the wheel and the responsibility of transporting a whole brass band's worth of gear. So stay with us and we'll be back soon. Welcome back to part two. So, it's all about being the band trailer boss now. So, how did you end up being the person responsible for pulling the band trailer?
It were not long after I joined the band, because I had a Land Rover, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
And the guy who was towing it then was James's granddad. Remind me. Librarian.
James's granddad. Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, yes.
And he was knocking on, bless him. And I just volunteered. He says, do you want me to do that? He says, yeah. But then it was that really old trailer.
Oh, yeah.
And the wheel fell off on the A1 on the way to a concert.
Was that the one where you were like, oh, look, there's a wheel that came past you, and then you went, oh, no, that's mine?
There was some swear words, actually. Yeah, it landed in the cafe just after the Blythe Slip Road, so I had to go and get the wheel, then ring Claire and say, Claire, do you know anyone who can give us any wheel nuts? Somehow she managed to get them from a garage in Blythe, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
No, it was, yeah. At that point, then we decided we were going to get a new trailer, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, my next question was actually going to be, was it something you volunteered for? Did the role just choose you? It sounds like it chose you, but you volunteered as well.
Yeah, I was just the only one stupid enough to have a tow bar on.
And still have a tow bar on.
Yeah, and have to keep putting them on now. But yeah, no, it's no, because we did between Robert Begg at the time, Bob. He was the treasurer.
Yeah.
So between me and him, we then went out and got grants from regeneration places for coal board things, coal fields or something. And that's how we got the current trailer, which was in 2010.
15 years
So-
we've had that.
You know, it's 2026 now, Peter.
Well, it is when this comes out.
Exactly.
What's
So
the trickiest thing about towing the trailer?
Having to reverse it, I'd say, because in the summer it's no problem. In the winter, when you're trying to reverse into a churchyard in the dead of night, watching that so you don't knock anyone's headstone over, in the rain. But I don't know. I'm just good at it.
You are very good at it. Stuff I do help out a lot when you're reversing. But one of the things I was just going to say is, are there any venues where parking is absolute nightmare? And as I was reading that question out, I thought to myself, we had one not that long ago. Was it Markham? Where you had to reverse all the way up. We played in that church, didn't we?
Yeah. I'd sent me at the other side. No, Retford Town Hall's hard now because all police parking it.
That's true, yeah.
So now you end up, because you get told off if you block a police car in.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
No, they've all got their own challenges. It's going somewhere for the first time that gets you. You know, when we've got a new concert venue, you've got no idea what you're going to get.
Well, that was like the Markham one. That was a new one for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you see, when I had my touring caravan, I used to book a campsite and then you'd have a look at what the entrance is like before you get there. I used to do that with the band trailer, but I don't now.
Here's a good one for you. What's the biggest misconception people have about transporting band gear? I think some people think it's just easy.
I think we, as a band, I think we don't do bad. It ends up being the same 4 people who help and loading and unloading. But I don't know. It's always the case, isn't it?
I was just about to say, do we have a loading system or does the band simply chuck things in? And to be fair, we do have a loading system. I think the people who actually load the trailer, and we've said this quite often lately, is people can bring it to the trailer, but the people who actually load it is me, you, Matt, Jack.
But I think
Darren.
it's the same in any band. You know, when I was at South Yorkshire Police Band, they had they come in a riot band.
Yeah.
But I think one of the frustrating thing for me is the fact that if you've got to go and pick the trailer up and then go to a job, it adds an hour on before the concert and an hour on after the concert. So, you know, Retford Charter Day is a prime example.
Yes.
The band were on at lunchtime or just after lunch, but we had to get there at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, just so we could get set up
So I lost my bank holiday to sitting in a empty field for 3 hours before the band turned up. And I don't mind. End of the day, I won't give up the position of towing the trailer easily because I quite like the fact that I get parked right next to the door, so I don't have to carry the tuber anywhere.
So it does have its bonuses.
Yeah. Although I moan about it and I make a joke, but no, I don't mind.
So I mean, we already mentioned like Charter Day where we had to turn up like 3 hours before we ended up playing, and that. But how early do you usually arrive at a venue compared to the rest of the band?
If it says get there at 6 o'clock, I'll get there at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so you basically get there when we tell you to.
Yeah, or earlier.
Well, just a bit normal. So it's normally like 10 minutes before a lot of times as well, into where we get there.
Yeah.
We do often get people turn around to going, "Oh, I got here at 6, but you've already emptied it." Oh, we got here a bit early, so we just emptied it.
Yeah. No, But we've all got commitments though. It's not always possible to get there bang on 6, is it?
Oh no, of course. You know, everybody. You know, if it's one like it's a Friday night or something, people work.
Yeah.
So you've got to finish work and stuff, and you know, even people work on weekends as well and have commitments on weekends. So it is a case of it. You know, we might turn around and say get there for 6 p.m. for a 7 p.m. start, but some people will inform us and say I can't get there till 6:30 or even 20 to 7.
Yeah.
But as long as we know, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I'm going anyway, so if I'm towing the trailer, it doesn't matter, does it?
No, definitely. What's the most stressful type of gig from a logistics point of view then?
They're all the same.
They're all pretty, yeah. I think for going back to what you've said before, probably sometimes the most stressful type is the new ones and having to reverse in, and you've not been there before.
Yeah, it's the night.
And the most satisfying ones are the
yeah.
ones that you know, and you go, "Oh yeah, I know what to do when I get there."
Yeah, it's the Dark Knight ones, really. The challenge.
Yeah. Have you ever had a moment where something vital nearly didn't make it into the trailer?
Yeah, but I've said this before. How many times has Claire come out and says, "Where's the banners? Where's the banners?" And everyone we look at each other and go, "Did anyone bring them out?"
No, because again, it's with that thing. We're there loading it.
Yeah, we don't.
Other people's responsibility to make sure they come out.
If it gets brought out of the band room and it gets put on the trailer, that's it. If it don't come out of the band room, it's, somebody needs to take responsibility for that end, don't they?
Absolutely. What are some of your favourite memories with Harworth Brass?
Favourite memories? John Blundell.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, love him.
He was like a naughty boy. Just at school, sat on the back row. That's what it's like. That's what it's like on the tuba section. It's like sitting on the back row of the bus. When you're at school, you get on the back of the bus, and that's where all cool kids sit. That's your tuba section.
Who have been your closest friends or biggest allies in the band over the years?
You.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. John and Steve Williams. When I first went on to tuba, it was hard. It was. I wasn't really a tuba player, was I? But no, it's them two helped me a lot. Gave me the confidence. When John didn't, sometimes he'd just sit and laugh at you, or nick your mouthpiece before a concert.
Oh, he's pegging.
Oh, we're pegging Pat. Yeah.
People walking away after a concert and they've got a peg to the jacket.
Yeah, it's all good fun, isn't it? It's harmless.
Yeah, it's what band life is, though, isn't it? It's about having fun. We make music, and we do commit, and you have to commit in a brass band, otherwise you just don't get better. But we have to make sure that we have fun at the same time.
Yeah, I love contesting, but I don't do it now because I've got a young family, and it's just hard to get the 2 nights a week rehearsal, and
it's another commitment on top of playing with Harworth, and you're self-employed, you run your own business, so it's hard. Trying to juggle it, isn't it?
But my contesting days are not over. I will go back to a contesting band at some point.
Well, we have people in the band, don't we, who do it now?
Yeah.
They want to stay with Harworth, but they want to have that experience of contesting still.
I want to play in the top section because that's the only section I've not played in.
Yeah.
Then I've got full ticks then. But no, at the minute I'm happy with Harworth. It's a bit like, because I had a few years away, didn't I? Before coming back, and Harworth is a bit like when you go home to your mum's house, where you grew up as a kid.
Yeah.
And you say hello to the fridge before you say hello to your mum. You just walk back in, grab what you want, sit down. Harworth's like that. It's like, it's a safe zone, isn't it? It's like,
yeah. I mean, that was going on to my next question: is how do you think the band's actually grown during your time here? I mean, you came to the band.
Everyone's just getting older and wrinklier.
2009.
Yeah, 2009. A lot of it's the same people, but there's people come and go in there in between.
Always happens in brass bands, though, doesn't it?
But not a right lot has changed in the last whatever it is, 16, 17 years. I don't know.
It's quite. I mean, for myself. I mean, even when I was living in Kent, I still came back and helped out the band when I could. But I was gone for 6.5 years. Did you find
the voiceover man in Kent, by the way?
What voiceover man?
For this podcast. When he speaks with his southern accent, brass.
Oh, brass.
Brass on the grass.
And path.
Alright folks, confession time. Our brass band is currently held together by sticky valve oil, borrowed music stands from the 90s, and a mute that's been glued back together twice. If you've ever thought, wow, these legends deserve a music stand that isn't held up by an old trombone slide, this is your moment to shine.
Exactly! You can be the unsung hero of the band room. How? By popping over to our website and buying us a coffee. Your support keeps us caffeinated enough to survive marathon rehearsals and helps us upgrade to things like actual sturdy stands. Maybe even a microphone that doesn't double as a spare lyre clip.
And the best bit, if you donate, you can send us audio clips. We'll play them right here on the podcast. Whether it's you cheering us on, roasting our dodgy tuning, or sending in the world's most dramatic cornet cadenza, we'll take it all. Tasteful vibrato encouraged.
Not a talker? No problem. You can still leave us a comment or review. It helps spread the word and gives us that warm, fuzzy feeling you usually only get after nailing a top C on the first try.
So, support the band, support the podcast, and help us level up from ragtag rehearsal chaos to concert-ready chaos. The link's in the show notes. Buy us a coffee, send in your clips, and let's keep the music rolling. Preferably on a trolley that isn't held together with gaffer tape.
What does being part of Harworth Brass mean to you personally?
I don't know.
For me, it's like, I mean, you're my best friend and stuff.
Yeah.
So, if it weren't for brass bands, we'd have never met.
No, but I think I don't know. I think when the band is on form, they can make some lovely sounds. But then, as with any band, there's also days when you think that was a bit rubbish, and we know that because Claire doesn't smile at the end. But yeah, everyone in the band's a good bunch, aren't they? It's a good laugh.
Well, band family, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I've said it before. I've had some stressful days at work, but when I get to band, it all just seems to, while I'm playing, it just seems to disappear.
Yeah, no, it's I've got a lot of hobbies, and band's just one of them. It's a small part, but I'm one of these people. I have to just keep my mind busy, and banding does that for you.
Yeah, of course it does.
The concentration. I mean, you go and do a concert. By the end of done at the concert, everyone will tell you now. I can't finish a concert and then go home and go straight to bed. Your mind's just that active.
It's still going.
You've got to sit and have a couple of beers before you get in bed, haven't you? And Thursday nights are no different. And get home from rehearsal, I have to sit and have a couple of beers and watch BBC News.
Just chill, relax.
Yeah. BBC News makes you feel better about yourself anyway, doesn't it?
Always does. What's the most exciting thing that you think for the coming year, musically or socially, for you? What are you most excited for?
I don't know, because I'm not on the committee anymore, so I don't know what's in front. I am quite... Are we allowed to mention the training band?
Yeah, you can now.
I found out the other week that the Harworth Brass are now having a training band. Well, what a fab idea that is. And
it's a brilliant idea, and it'll help bring in that younger generation. It'll help keep banding going. I know personally for myself, when I started playing when I was 9, and I started in the junior band along with other players who are still in the band, like Matt and Warren. They were in there as well. I'm sure he won't mind me saying as well. We had Joe Carrot as well, who comes back and helps. He was a member for a long time with the band, but he started in the junior band as well.
I think training bands are so important to any band because it's a bit like football. Your grassroots is where you get your academy, kids through the academy, and then they become professional footballers. Now, Harworth is just one of those. We've got the potential to be one of those grassroots that, you might find your next Richard Marshall sat in there somewhere in Harworth.
I'm going to say he's only from Doncaster.
But the problem is the schools and the government are not funding music anymore. So going to have to do it the hard way and do it ourselves, aren't we?
Absolutely, mate. Is there a particular venue, concert, or any other event you'd love the band to get involved with?
I thought about this the other day and I've forgotten. I think one of my best favourite banding moments was I played in an umpire band for Oktoberfest.
I remember seeing the photo of you wore,
which was absolutely fab. Everyone
did sound great.
The band were all allowed to have a beer while playing, or several steins, and that was brilliant. But you see, I think for me, my opinion, you might tell me I'm wrong, but it's all right playing your everyday concerts, so your film music ones or whatever else is coming up, your remembrance ones and things like that. But as the audience of a brass band is normally older, as they start dwindling in numbers, we've got to start appealing to a younger generation.
Absolutely.
So and I think we need to start looking at more modern ways of making music, but without losing the traditional
brass band.
Yeah. And whether that be, I don't know, someone needs to arrange some Prodigy or something, or a dance. I mean, look at Chav Brass at Whit Friday. Right? Yeah. They're absolutely loved. It's a scratch band, but everyone loves them playing dance music. So you could do some special themed concert around pop music or something.
Maybe it's something we can look at then.
You go and sit in. You can imagine sitting on a bandstand and you start playing "Baby, You're All That I Want." Everyone would be like, "What is this?" But you'd get attention, wouldn't you? You
would get attention. So that's maybe something you could look at doing at Charter Day. You get a lot of people come to Charter Day, so that would be something where we maybe could test the waters.
I think all bands desperately need to look at how are we going to start appealing to a young generation. Otherwise, as all the old funny duddies, get put in the boxes, that's the end of that, isn't it?
Yeah. If you could make one upgrade to the band's gear or trailer setup, what would it be and why?
I could do a ramp.
We said this at one of our concerts, didn't we, recently, where we were struggling to get on and off because I think it was a bit icy.
Yeah.
And stuff. So we could,
I'm still plucking up the courage to put a new floor in the trailer and all, aren't we?
Yeah, that does still need doing, but
we'll wait
I think the ramp would be a really good idea if we could have maybe a look at how much that would cost.
Better off getting a new trailer, I think.
Probably.
If anyone wants to donate about £6,000, that'd be muchly appreciated.
Right. Finally, what do you hope for the future of Harworth Brass looks like?
To still be here, I think.
Yeah.
If we can get on another 40, 50 years.
We've done 105 now, haven't we? So
yeah,
2025. So going into our 106th year now.
I think every band that's currently out there now everyone's just in survival mode, aren't they?
Well, like you say, running a brass band, it's not cheap. People see us and stuff, but what they don't realise is you've got expenses. Borrowed players, your new stands, new jackets, music is obviously a big one there. Mutes.
Yeah, I reckon. You might want to ask the treasurer this, but I think you're looking at £10,000 a year to run a band out of Harworth stature. If you go to somewhere like Granthorpe, it could be £100,000.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah,
it's not cheap. No. It's not cheap. It's not cheap running a brass band. Right, so we've got another fun quick fire round for you.
There we go.
Only 8 this time. There's not 10 on this one. Best venue the trailer has ever been to?
Yeah, did we do a Epworth show or something?
We did one a while back, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, worst car park known to mankind?
Harworth Church.
If the trailer had a name, what should it be?
Dawn.
Okay. Best road trip snack?
I'm a bit partial to a sausage roll, mate.
That's a good one. I agree there. Who is absolutely not allowed to reverse the trailer?
You. I watched you once.
I can now actually do it because I have the BE on my license, but I would probably say I would need some lessons first.
Yeah, there's a few people said that.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind pulling the trailer. I mean, I haven't got a tow bar on my car at the moment, but I wouldn't mind towing it as being
Sam
as
Foster
a thing.
has offered to tow it on occasion when I can't be there. She's never done it before, so I've offered her a quick demonstration. However, judging what happened to Jack's car the other day, we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that. Dream band job: Royal Albert Hall concert or leading the trailer in a parade float.
What's so special about band trailer being in it? I don't know. No, yeah, but the band's got to march.
Band's got to march.
Yeah,
I would love the band to march again. Do you remember when we used to do it at? We used to march through Harworth.
I've never marched with Harworth.
We used to do it, on Remembrance. We used to start at the pit when the pit was still there.
We're on about doing it this year, aren't we?
Yeah, and we used to walk and march all the way around the village, all the way down to the cenotaph.
That's how it should be done.
And I would love to do that again.
I've once played it.
Even if it is just once a year doing it on Remembrance, I would love to do it.
I think Matt's on about it this year. But I've done it with a band where they just played Slave Bird over and over and over and over and over and over again. Come on, let's mix it up a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Now, this next one, again, I think I know the answer to this. But tea, coffee, or straight to the pub after the gig?
Straight to the pub.
Absolutely. Last one. What song should play as the trailer rolls into a venue? Some kind of maybe exciting music, or
I think it's got to be Clog Dance.
Clog Dance.
Yeah,
that'll be a quality one for the trailer coming in.
I'll get speakers on.
Get speakers and put it on as you're coming in. That'd be brilliant. So that wraps up another fantastic episode of the Harworth Brass podcast. A huge thanks to our guest Tim for sharing not just the low notes that keep the band grounded, but also everything that goes into getting Harworth Brass from A to B. Thank you to everyone listening. We appreciate your support and hope you'll continue spreading the word. Until next time, keep playing, keep smiling, and keep supporting your local brass bands. We'll see you again soon for the next episode of the Harworth Brass podcast.